Good morning, pre-K. Today is Friday. Yay, Friday. In continuing with our water unit, we are going to read a book called Things That Float and Things That Don't. And the author of the book is David Adler. And the book is illustrated by Anna Raff. Find things around the house, things that won't be damaged by water. Make a list of what you found. Next to each item on the list, write whether you think it will float. One by one, put each item in the sink. How often did you predict correctly which things float and which things don't? It's not just weight that determines whether something will float. It's also the object's size and shape. Does it float? So this little person put a pail into the water, and their guess was that it would float, and their answer was yes. And next they did an apple. Did the apple float? Yes, it did. Next they did a marble. They predicted it would float. Did it float? No, but that's okay. That's how we learn. Next they put in a car. Did they predict it would float? They said no, and it didn't. Now get some ice cubes. Drop the ice cubes in the sink. They float. Why does ice float? Ice is water. Icebergs are huge floating mountains of ice found in the colder parts of the world's ocean. Why do ice and icebergs float? You can find the answer in your freezer. Put some water in a paper cup. Make a mark on the side of the cup to show the level of water. Put the cup in the freezer and wait until the water has completely turned to ice. The level of the ice is higher than the mark you made on the side of the cup. When water freezes, it expands. Ice weighs the same as water, but ice takes up more space. The density of the ice is slightly less than the density of water. That's why it floats. Hello, pre-K. Now we're going to do our experiment to see what happens when we put things in water. What does sink and float mean? When something sinks, what does that mean? Yes, that's correct. When something sinks, it goes to the bottom of the water. When something floats, it stays on top. So Giovanni was nice enough to give us his predictions of what he thinks these things are going to do. Let's see Giovanni's predictions. Does it float? Toothpick. His guess was yes. Let's see. Okay, Giovanni, put the toothpick in and let's see what happens.
It does float!
It does float. So his projection was correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next thing? A cotton ball. His prediction was that it's not going to float. It's kind of floating. Car. Giovanni said it's gonna float. Oh, did it float?
No, it went down.
It sunk.
It sunk.
It sunk. Okay, next is a spoon. Is it gonna sink or float? It's gonna sink, and he said yes, it's not going to float. Very good. Now his coin. Is it gonna sink or float? You said it was gonna float, but it sunk. But that's okay because that's how we learn.
Yeah.
Is the paperclip gonna sink or float? It sunk.
Yeah.
And the crayon. The crayon didn't float either.
Yeah.
And Giovanni said it was going to float. So now we'll have to put our predictions on the board. Okay. Okay, our toothpick floated, so it's a yes. Our cotton ball floated, so it's a yes. Our car did not float, so it's a no. Our spoon did not float, so it's a no. Did our coin float? No. And did our crayon float?
No.
No. And did our paperclip float? No. So our predictions were toothpick for yes, right?
2 yeses and no, 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 no.
Okay, boys and girls, so now at home, I want you to get some stuff around your house and you can fill up a bowl and make your predictions of whether you think it's going to sink or float. And then tell me what happened if the stuff sunk or float. And you can email them to me, and Miss Susie's class can email them to Miss Susie and let us know what you found out. So have fun. Bye.